You need depth in your shots, not in your character. For that, read a book. But for this, I'll show you how to get some depth. So, I shot a short film with my fiance and she loved it. She hated it, every single bit of it. So anyway, I'm going to break down one of the shots I like here and I'm going to explain to you how I created depth in this shot. Number one, corners. Shoot into corners. You sometimes hear people say out of the room. It's the easiest way to create depth in your shot. Imagine if I shot this shot from front on. The distance to the background may be 1 meter, but when you shoot into a corner, the distance was like 5 meters. Layering. Foreground, middle ground, background. If you can get all three, then you are in luck. You are styling, well done. Call it a day. But there's a reason that cinematographers do shoot through things. It's because it looks nice. Lighting. Namely, side lighting and backlighting kind of gives you a three-dimensional quality to your subject, as well as you can always use negative fill. Thank you very much. Number two with lighting, color contrast. You can add a little bit of difference to your colors. In that shot, I used a little bit of fluorescent in the background, and then in the foreground, I used the blue from the screen, and then from the side, I used a warm tungsten light, just to give some color contrast to separate the foreground, middle ground, and background. Lenses. The wider the lens, the closer you can put it to the subject, and also the more the distance, the further the distance from the background appears. The longer the lens, the more compressed the background, middle ground, and foreground just squashes them in, almost taking away all your depth. So personally, I prefer to use a wider lens, go closer to the subject, and just have like a little bit of distance there. Yeah. So, for example, I shot this shot at a 35 and a 21 millimeter, just so you can see the difference. A little more depth, isn't there? Yeah. Yeah, alright, that's enough of that. So the last thing, T-stop and F-stop. The faster you shoot, the lower the F-stop, the lower the T-stop, the more blur you're going to get from the background. And the more blur you get from the background, the more you carve out your middle ground or your foreground, your subject from the background. And that way you have more depth. And yeah, watch the little short horror film. I make mistakes so you don't have to. So please, if you see any of my mistakes, send them down below. Then I get better, you get better. We all get better, and that is the end of this one. So thank you very much and have a good day. Cut.